Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Aiden Cossack, and today we are going to be talking about Hobbs and Shaw, the new Fast and Furious movie. So, Hobbs and Shaw, of course, is the first spin-off movie in the Fast and Furious franchise, which honestly, I have never seen a Fast and Furious movie until this past week. I decided to binge watch all of them, and boy, what a hit and miss franchise that is. So let's talk a little bit about Hobbs and Shaw, and it takes the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson character of Hobbs, and it takes Jason Statham's character of Shaw, and of course these two do not like each other. It pits them against each other, and they have to work together as a team to stop the bad guy, who is played by Idris Elba. And we went from racing for pink slips in the first movie to now a super villain with super villain powers played by Idris Elba. What a big roller coaster this franchise has been on with Universal. And I have to say, this movie is a lot of fun. A lot of the action is directed brilliantly by David Leitch, who of course is famous for the John Wick franchise. I will say, it is not shot as well as the John Wick movies. However, there is tons of fun to be had, and especially with the car chase scenes. They do some really cool and innovative things regarding a motorcycle and some of the stunts that they actually pull off. Some of the CG looks a little wonky here and there, but what David Leitch can do with action is just amazing to itself. And some of the other amazing things about this movie, each one of the characters in this movie really work. I love Dwayne's character as Hobbs. He really gets to expand upon and do a little bit more with this character than he's been allowed to ever since Fast 5. He gets to do a little bit more of his WWE promo style where he can just kind of rip a little bit, and some of the jokes are pretty funny with him and his chemistry with Jason Statham, who we've seen in previous movies. These two have great chemistry together. That's nothing new, but the two new additions to this franchise with Idris Elba, who is great and is absolutely my new favorite villain in this franchise, replacing Charlize Theron, who is also great. Don't get me wrong, but Idris Elba is incredible. You can tell that he's having so much fun with this role while also leaning into how hammy it can be. And also, Vanessa Kirby. I have never seen her in anything. I've been aware of who she is, but to be put in a movie with Jason Statham and The Rock, you kind of have to be able to hold your own, and she can more than hold her own. She goes hand in hand with these two dudes brilliantly. She is incredible, and I can't wait to see what comes next. With all that being said, all these characters are great, and their chemistry, all four of them together, is great. The lines and the material that they get to work with in this movie is awful.
You had to open your big mouth, didn't you, huh?
Yeah, I thought it was a cool thing to say in the moment.
From the beginning of this movie, I was just rolling my eyes at what was going on in this whole movie. They get tons of playful banter with each other, but half the jokes just completely miss or go straight over your head. The plot doesn't make any sense at all. There are so many cartoony elements that happen in this movie that, I mean, that's the best way I can describe this movie, is cartoony. It just, you have to go in without these realistic expectations of these things cannot happen in real life, because they just absolutely cannot, and it just didn't work for me on that level. There's also a ton of surprises in this movie that I really wasn't expecting. Of course, you know, every movie has spoilers, you know, you kind of want to avoid some things. There's some cameos that happen in this movie that I really wasn't expecting to see, which it was kind of a pleasure to see who these people were who do appear. I will not give away who it is, and you guys might want to try your best to avoid who that is as well. But I will say, you get the cheap pop of, wow, I can't believe that's so-and-so, or, oh, I love him in this, or her in that. So you get that initial pop, but what material they give to work with after that, like I said, for our main characters, it's just like, what are we doing here? This movie is awful, and the post-credit scenes for this movie, I have no idea if they are going to make the theatrical release or not. They told me that they were still tweaking this movie, so I saw it last night. The movie comes out today, the day that I am recording this, and they're still live tweaking before it comes out. That's a little insane to me, but the post-credit scenes are also just abysmal. But if you're going into this movie just looking for a good, fun time, you are definitely going to get that, and I think that there is definitely fun to be had with this movie. Overall, Hobbs and Shaw for me is probably going to be about a 5.9 out of 10. I can't quite say that this is a good movie, but there is definitely the fun, like I said, to be had. Alright guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching the review today. Be sure to like down below. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to comment. Are you looking forward to this movie? Are you excited for this movie? Do you want a spoiler review? I thought that maybe there were some things going on in this movie that might want to expand upon. I don't know how much more I want to talk about this movie anymore, considering the fact that I didn't quite enjoy it, so there is that as well. Also, please be sure to subscribe if you like this and you guys want to check out any more movie reviews or any of that content going on in the future. And thank you guys so much.